It's already recording, isn't it? Hi everybody, welcome to another pregnancy update, and I'm 41 weeks and 1 day pregnant today, and I'm okay with that. It's definitely been a bit up and down over the last week, especially once I went beyond 40 weeks. A lot of people now have opinions about my pregnancy and how it's going. The main things to mention are probably that technically I've been booked in for an induction on Sunday, but I'm going to decline that because I feel that it's not in my best interests and it's not in the best interests of the baby. But I am happy to have whatever monitoring the hospital feels is necessary to make sure that he is still thriving, and as long as he is still doing well, I'm happy to let him be in there as long as he possibly needs, because obviously the longer he's in there, the more developed he's going to be, and he's going to have a better chance once he comes this side. My midwife did offer me a sweep yesterday, but I declined, mostly because I felt very oversensitive and emotional yesterday, and I wasn't really able to keep it together. I just felt like having a sweep, you know, somebody up in my business, was not really going to help me feel any better. I am going to see her tomorrow, which is Thursday. But I may not take her up on the offer of a sweep. She said it was completely up to me. She left it open-ended, which was really nice, because quite often you feel like you have to do these things and you don't have a choice about it, but you absolutely do. So she said if I wanted to have a sweep, I could do it, but if not, if I didn't feel up to it, then we could just listen in on the baby again and just check everything over. So yeah, yesterday was kind of a horrible day. I just felt so unable to face anyone, and the day before that, which was Monday, I actually didn't feel all that well. I had a sore throat and a headache, and I felt kind of generally under the weather. But we'd had a really busy weekend, we'd seen a lot of family, and while it is lovely to see family and to have everyone in one place for once, which doesn't often happen for us, it was definitely very tiring at the same time. I'm not a particularly sociable person, I'm quite introverted, and socialising for me is tiring, and answering the same questions over and over and over again is really tiring. And also people just like fussed a little bit over me, and I don't like being fussed over, so it was kind of hard. And yeah, definitely Monday I did not feel very well, and I seem to have had a very mild cold, which I got over in like a day, but now I'm just dealing with its exit. The weather is hot. I'm kind of getting a bit limited with things to wear. I don't know what to wear. I want to wear shorts and I want to wear like very little clothing, but I feel like it's almost a bit inappropriate. Since I've been due, I've had a lot more conversation with people about, you know, people are asking, when is it due? And I'm like, well, actually last Tuesday, and you know, and then you get the stories and then you get the opinions. Most people are quite nice about it, but I have had a few people just be a little bit inappropriate actually. And the one that comes to mind is I took Leo to the hairdresser last Friday, and the hairdresser was, well, first she asked me, are you expecting? And I was like, nah. She said, oh, but you're so small. I mean, that's amazing. And how big are your feet? And were you late with him? And did you have a C-section with him? I mean, why wouldn't they just schedule a C-section this time? You know, she kind of just seemed a bit bewildered by it, really. And then came the touch. She put her hand on my belly and she rubbed it. And it's kind of like that part of your body suddenly ceases to be a part of you and becomes public property somehow, which it doesn't. So I'm polite and kind of, because I wanted her to cut my son's hair well. I mean, you know, I didn't want to make an enemy out of her. But then today in the charity shop, somebody else said to me, well, first she made a joke about me having to get out of the shop quickly because I was overdue and I could go any minute, basically. She looked at me in this really sort of like funny way, and she said, in what I can only describe as a pitying voice, is, oh, but you're so tiny, you know, in that way. And generally I'm being met with a lot of surprise. Mostly I think people just aren't aware that VBAC is actually a choice, and it is something that is done. So people often say to me, oh, you're going natural, will they let you do that? And it is not about what they will let you do, it is about what you choose to do with your body, which to me shows me that there is not a lot of education out there about what you can and can't do when it comes to your body. The bottom line is, it's your body and you can choose what happens to it. So I'm going to be declining induction on Sunday, and I'm hoping obviously to go into spontaneous labour soon, because I'm anxious to meet our little boy. And yes, I am getting a bit tired of people asking me questions all the time, and I need to speak to a professional midwifery advocate. Sometimes they're consultant midwives as well, but this is the position that took over supervisor of midwives. So they are now professional midwifery advocates. My consultant midwife went on annual leave last week, and so far we haven't actually resolved the issue of continuous fetal monitoring versus no monitoring. And at this point I'm still not sure what I want to do. I think a good compromise would be if they could guarantee a remote unit, a mobile unit, then I would be more willing to undergo continuous fetal monitoring. If not, I would like to know how they will facilitate my movement, my activeness throughout labour. But also I do have this sort of sneaking suspicion that if they start looking for problems, they are going to find them. And I feel like with my baby, because of his diagnosis, they will be primed to look for problems where perhaps there are none. There are no medical reasons at this point to induce. There would have to be something seriously wrong in order to go for induction at this point, and I'm happy to wait and see. Going against the grain is challenging. Some days I feel really empowered and I feel like, yes, I'm doing this. I am, getting the things that I believe in and that I want, and that feel right for us. And then other days I have a day like yesterday where I lose all my fight, all my nerve, and I can't do it. And I find myself agreeing to things that I don't actually want. But it's so worth it. Even if I don't get my V back, I will feel empowered to have known that I made all the decisions on my own terms. Nobody pushed me to do something that I didn't want to do. And it was all within my power, within my control. That in itself will be a very empowering experience, I think. So if you're a VBAC mama and you're watching this, and I don't know where you're at emotionally or whatever, but it's going to be worth it. Whatever happens, it's going to be worth it. In terms of symptoms and stuff, I haven't really had any new ones. Just a crunchy pelvis and fanny daggers. Oh, and actually, my doula, in a bid to sort of help me feel a little bit better, she said I might consider timing my Braxton Hicks contractions, because although they are not real labour, they do serve a purpose and they can actually help prepare your body for birth. And sometimes there are regularity to them, especially late in pregnancy. They could be considered early labour contractions. So I did do just that, and I timed them for about an hour, and I had about 8 in that hour. And I noticed over the hour that they started to get closer together, and they actually started to increase in duration as well, and they would take a long time to relax again. I think that there are things happening. I do have that kind of sense of something is coming, things are changing. I feel like it's coming soon, but I just don't know when. I mean, I had no indication of labour before Leo started to come, so it's every possible chance I could just wake up in the morning and it started. I am trying various things. Raspberry leaf tea, pineapple. Yesterday I added a little bit more chili to my dinner in order to make it a little bit more spicy. I'm taking evening primrose oil, but really, unless my body is ready for this, it's not really going to do anything. I made a baby purchase today. It could be the only new thing that I have bought aside from nappies, for this baby. And it was 50p in a charity shop, and it's newborn size, and I just thought it was really cute. So it's actually just a little sleeveless romper, and I think it's really cute. It's got like clouds and stars on it, and in blue and yellow, and I just think it's so cute. And it was only 50p, so I can hardly complain. So I think I will probably show you the bump now and then wrap up the video. Apologies for the angle, it's a little bit sort of from above, but this is my 41-week belly. And just for the sake of the fact that I did it last week and I didn't actually get to do this with Leo at 41 weeks, I thought I would measure. And last week I was 34 and a half. So it'll be interesting to see what I am. I'm actually having a Braxton Hicks contraction right now. I don't know whether you can really tell, it's looking a bit square. Yeah. So I'm currently about 35 inches, so half an inch more from last week, but that could be the way that he's lying. Midwife felt like he was still 4/5 engaged, which is not much, but I feel happy that he hasn't really moved. So thanks for watching my 41 week update. I never got to do one of these with Leo because I went into labour, so this is my very first 41 week pregnancy update. I may be back with another video next week, but hopefully by this time next week we will have a baby. And that would be awesome. So do subscribe if you haven't already. Go and like my Facebook page if you want like live updates and stuff as stuff starts happening. And also Instagram. Instagram is the other place that I tend to post a little bit more often. Thanks for watching. I'll be back with another video really soon. Bye guys!